Like so many people today, I sometimes feel lost in this globalised, frenetic world. I'm caught in a stampede of consumerism, social media, so many different stimuli from all directions. It's like a traffic jam in my mind.
And the solution for many people to this mental clutter and confusion? Seeking release, even enlightenment, in one country in particular which has always sold itself as a spiritual refuge. And that country is
Thailand.
Thailand has changed hugely in recent times, but its belief system, Buddhism, has been around for over 2,500 years, since the journey to enlightenment of its guru, Gautama Siddhartha. Most Thai people regard themselves as Buddhist and follow one of the three main forms of this doctrine, called Theravada Buddhism.
If I have to put a simple word, what is Buddhism? Buddhism is the teaching which cleans your mind.
Buddhism, strictly speaking, is not a religion. No god is worshipped. It has a reputation for being less dogmatic and easier to adapt into a modern lifestyle, hence its appeal to Westerners. Mind you, getting intoxicated, lying or gossiping and stealing are all no-nos for the observant Buddhist. The aim is to control our earthly desires, both material and sensory, as craving them leads to suffering. Ultimately, through spiritual development, we lose our attachment to the idea of a self and live in the here and now. Simple, huh? Now, I've visited Thailand on many an occasion and have never really witnessed this spiritual side of the people. If anything, I've seen a country on a mission of economic growth, engrossed in consumerism and instant gratification.
Cleansing.
So now I'm on a journey to test whether it still deserves to be seen as the place to go for spiritual insight.
How is that?
There are 30,000 temples in Thailand, and this one in Bangkok is marking the first anniversary of the death of its spiritual leader of 24 years, the Supreme Patriarch.
The people, they come from in every corner of the country. They come here and then use this, what we call this flower of eternity, the Amarnath.
Playing host today is Pra Anil. He's going to be my guide on this journey. Donating lotus buds and food, lighting candles and incense sticks is for the lay people a form of what Buddhists call merit making.
The pink ones go where? On the pink.
Yeah.
Doing good stuff that may get you higher up the karmic chain.
Your one is better.
Yes, that's right. I'm not sure about that. This is what we can guess as the power of faith, power of a religion.
This is the power of faith.
Yeah.
People come from everywhere just to volunteer
Yes.
to do this.
And my first question, am I in the right country to find peace?
I think you are in the right country and the right place. Because basically, when we go around, we are trying to find somewhere with good atmosphere, and especially the spiritual atmosphere. And this Thailand is a Buddhist country where you can see the religiosity in everywhere, every corner of the city.
My mentor's suggestion is to avoid the temptation to search for a quick fix, instant karma as it's known, and to go and visit a monastery in the countryside. But hang on, I've only got a few days here, and Thailand does do a good line in luxury spiritual retreats, where they promise you can get a taste of spirituality without the austerity. Very tempting. And they don't get much more luxurious or exclusive than this, the Chivasom International Health Resort, with 200 different treatments and services, like crystal massage, reprogramming therapy, Shirodhara, and sound therapy.
Let your mind just connect to all this vibration. It's not about listening to the sound like you're listening to music. It's more allowing a different vibration penetrate first in your mind, allowing your brain changing a pattern first, and then let those vibrations just spreading down to your system. Now let the vibration penetrate.
That is genuinely fantastic. Really is the vibrations that are going through you when it's on your chest and when it's on your head. The effect of it being 360 degrees around your head. And at one point, I really was back in the womb. Those were deep, deep vibrations.
Fact is, upmarket spas for mind and body pampering are a real fad across the world, especially in five-star hotels. And the buzzword here is mindfulness.
I think a lot of people who come here, interestingly, they're really high achievers in many aspects of their life, but they may have something that they've ignored for a bit too long. And regaining that balance and getting themselves sorted in a sense where there's a balance of emotional, physical, mental health.
My guru, back in Bangkok, is not so sure.
This is a new development and a new trend. It's called religious tourism, I guess. But to catering for the people who are still longing for the comfort, who are still longing for the consumerism, but at the same time they feel so bad. And then that is a new choice we are having. Of course, I think that's better than nothing.
Ultimately, you're left feeling this is at most a healing process in a very comfortable and expensive environment. Good for health and well-being on a surface level maybe, but not really spiritual. There's still something missing I have to find. But there is a problem. Thailand is a country in which 85% of the population say they are Theravada Buddhists. And yet you sense that amongst younger people for whom career is more and more important, organised Buddhism is losing its grip.
Well, the kids my generation, they have a lot of access to the world, like internet, cell phones, so there's lots of things out there, so it's hard for Buddhism to stay relevant in this new age.
Pete is very much a globalised Thai. He's a cameraman and loves his gadgets. Every Thai male is expected to enter monkhood and be ordained as a rite of passage after school. Many, like Pete, though, only did it to please their parents.
I think my generation is a bit more skeptical about Buddhism because the world is much more open now. We have the whole world in our cell phone. We can look up anything we want. So the younger generation, if they're not believing exactly what their parents are teaching them, they have a chance to be able to look up in their cell phone.
Call now 0800
And the fact is, many people in Pete's generation see Thailand as a place to find a very different kind of release to the one Buddhism offers.
Koh Samui, exotic island, where hedonism and commerce rule.
This would have been a half-moon party if there hadn't been a recent ban imposed on them. Nonetheless, at slickly run events like this, there's still plenty of fun to be had.
They can relax, they want to be free, you know. Yeah. They work hard for a whole year, that's what they told me. They want to relax, they want to enjoy.
Would it be fair to accuse these revelers of not respecting or exploring Thai spirituality enough? Personally, I don't think so. But neither do I think this is quite what I'm in search of. I need to immerse myself with Thailand's traditional upholders of spirituality, the monks. Mind you, the monkhood aren't doing themselves any favours at the moment if you believe the story is about bogus monks, corrupt monks, and monks behaving badly. The country's even created a monk police force to prevent the bad apples from tarnishing the image of Thai Buddhism. As well as being open to abuse, Buddhism in Thailand stands accused of not keeping up with the times. This temple outside Bangkok is the only one in Thailand for women. Even then, it's not recognised by the Buddhist hierarchy, and neither is this lady.
In the Thai tradition, it is the monks, the male monks, who go out for alms, and it's women always make offering.
The first and only such nun and abbess in the country. Could this be one reason why Buddhism is losing its grip on younger Thais?
In our country, what I see Buddhism is going through is we are so materialistic. Our goal, even though we are Buddhist, we do not seem to share the spiritual goal. And once when you do not have direction, this being Buddhist is going to be corrupted. No, it's not going to be corrupted. It is corrupting. It is corrupting and hurting Buddhism itself and hurting also Thai society.
Modern Thailand is changing, and Buddhism is clearly facing a battle to keep itself relevant. But I'm still in search of the essence of Buddhism, the reason why people around the world like me are so drawn to it. And to find this, you have to go deep into rural Thailand.
Okay, so this is it. Enough tiptoeing around with Buddhism light. We are now 2 hours roughly outside Bangkok, heading east, heading towards the forest and a monastery. This is Judgment Day for the city kid here.
And in the monastery, all novices and lay people like me are expected to follow certain rules. Wake up at 3 a.m. for 2 hours meditation, followed by monastery duties like cleaning. 2 more long sessions of meditation are expected during the rest of the day. No eating after noon. That basically means 1 meal a day at breakfast. No mobile phones or Wi-Fi, music or TV, and reading material that is not related to Buddhist study is discouraged. No sleeping on a soft bed, and you must dress respectfully. Why am I doing this again? What did my spiritual guide tell me?
Our lifestyle drives us mad because we need money to live, and then money is only earned through our hard working. If you can have a spare time, some places that you can hide and then rest yourself, just like what we call is charging the battery.
The grounds of the Wat Bumayad Monastery are vast, some 160 acres.
We're off to the right here, which is the men's area.
Matthew has lived here for the past 19 years.
In a Buddhist culture like this, Thais, by nature, are very generous.
Okay, so Matthew has now gone and I'm here in this room. Now let's practice being a Buddhist.
It's now the allotted time for meditation. And one trick apparently is to focus on your breathing.
Apparently, Buddha himself sat cross-legged meditating for 49 days non-stop, so I should be able to manage 5 minutes.
And now I'm getting hungry.
If I've got this right, in Buddhism, craving or the desire for instant gratification is the root of all suffering. Well, I tell you what, I'm suffering now.
And sleeping on a hard floor isn't much better.
Okay, it's 5 a.m, it's still pretty dark and I'm on the porch outside my room. I've been awake since 3 a.m. when there was I think recorded chanting from the central area of the monastery, which I guess is supposed to be a wake-up call. I think I was supposed to be meditating for the last 2 hours, but I feel a bit like a zombie, so I haven't done that very well. But I've had a cold shower and I'm ready for the new day.
And the first duty of the new day is collecting alms, food from the local community.
Every morning there's a number of routes from this monastery, and the monks divide into small groups and go out to each route.
As I'm soon to find out, this is not the only source of sustenance for the monks.
This is a feast. It's only once a day, but it's a good feast.
After breakfast, a chance to talk to the abbot, who's been here since 1990. We were lucky to be accepted in this monastery. Many others turned us down, saying a TV crew would be too worldly, and therefore disruptive, presumably.
People coming from non-Asian countries have grown up in a different cultural environment. However, when it comes to the practice of developing one's mind, the potential is there for anyone to do it. If people can train dogs to be obedient, people have the same ability to train themselves.
Next on the agenda is one of my daily duties.
Has everyone else gone?
Yeah. You might have noticed that the task of sweeping up is given really to the most enlightened person here in the monastery. That's why I'm doing it. And after that's complete, a chance to meet some of the foreign monks as they finish their jobs. Some, it transpires, have had rather colourful previous lives.
I'm from a hippie, from a Woodstock generation. Just about when I was 20 years old, we were trying to find some meaning in life. Something like when I saw people driving the car to work and having kids and raising family and build expensive houses and buy all that plastic stuff. And I thought, what can I do not to avoid that? But when you become a monk, you're also not happy in the beginning.
Why?
Because you have to do a lot of things you don't like.
Like?
All these chores, working and getting up in the morning, you don't have money, you cannot go when you like. You have such a lot of rules, it's worse like prison.
Really?
So, yes, definitely.
And then there's the enigma That is Michael.
I used to be a photographer.
You used to be a photographer?
Yeah, and I traveled through the world, enjoyed myself.
What kind of pictures?
Fashion.
Fashion?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was fashion magazines, catalogs, this kind of thing.
And successful?
Yes, quite. Successful enough.
Turns out, as Matthew told me later on, that Michael was also the manager of the model Claudia Schiffer for 3 years. He was then a monk for a short period in 2001 and returned to the faith a year and a half ago. And this time, he says it's for good.
Mostly my family thinks, I should have a family, I should make lots of money, and what people normally think in the West. So no possessions anymore, no health insurance, nothing at all.
Nothing in the bank?
Nothing in the bank. No safety net. On the one hand, it's quite simple. You train yourself daily 7, 8, 9 hours in meditation, and when you're able to still your mind, it becomes very peaceful. And this experience is actually much better than all the money that you have. When you can buy yourself an expensive meal for $200-300 or euros or whatever, it's gone in say, half an hour or so. But when you have a peaceful mind, it stays with you for a long, long time. And that's what we are all after, aren't we?
Michael hasn't completely forsaken his old life. He's still curious about the English Premiership football scores, Arsenal especially, and then reveals the abbot is a secret Liverpool fan. Monks have to observe 227 strict precepts or rules, so really my efforts were rather pathetic. But in truth, as I left, I realised I did gain something out of the experience. In that short period, I appreciated the routine, the simplicity, and the absence of empty choices you frequently have to make in the outside world. The point, though, is most of us live in that world. So I've reached the end of my voyage of discovery here in Thailand, and I've got to say, I do feel a little more enlightened. I left every monastery I visited with a lot of respect for the monks, but they've got a tough challenge ahead, especially in the big cities. I get the impression that this country is becoming increasingly polarised between rampant materialism on the one side and moral purity on the other. And the answer, as Buddha himself put it, lies not at the extremes, not black and white, but somewhere in between. The middle way. And for the time being, as Buddhism also says, I think I'm going to try and embrace the moment and live for now.